Thank you. I will share my screen so we can get started here. And of course, everything is opening all at once. So I'll double check that you can see. Do you see my slides?
Yes, we do.
Wonderful. And you can hear my voice. I'm so excited to be here with you today and give you a really quick snapshot into what entrepreneurship is, which I think is the biggest word to describe something really, really simple, and we might not know what it is. So what I'm hoping to do today is make sure that you leave here understanding that you can be an entrepreneur. So my name is Jace Meyer. You'll find me on the internet as Jace actually, because my full name is JC Lynn. So everyone calls me Jackie Lynn or Jocelyn, anything but JC Lynn. And so I've always just said, you can just call me Jace actually. So on the internet, you'll find me there. Dean, I was laughing really hard at your jokes earlier because lived experience. I'm a Métis woman. I've nomadic. I've traveled all across Turtle Island 30 times. Moved. And one of the things I've really come to learn from the experiences that I've had growing up as a girl is that you are the consequences of your actions and not the product of your circumstances. And anytime your circumstances suck, you have the power to make them better if you just believe in your own love and your own power and all of those things and really important messages that my friend Justin shared with us earlier this morning. So I like to sum that up and say, Koya, just remember you're the consequences of your actions. You got to believe in yourself and you can make anything happen no matter who you are or where you're from. And the coolest thing about being an entrepreneur is that's possible. So what the heck's an entrepreneur and what's that big word mean? Well, I was hoping I could just show you instead of tell you. Maybe show me a reaction, your favorite emoji in the chat, if you know this next business and this next entrepreneur. Oh, it's me. Easy. I just introduced you so you could all practice that chat. Show me your emoji so that I know that you're still with me here. The cool thing about being an entrepreneur is that you can take anything that you're good at and turn it into a business. So I started as a teacher. I like to work with kids. I like to help people understand what it is that they can know. And now I'm an entrepreneur, which means that I make and I sell ideas. Still a teacher, just making money in a new way. But what about this entrepreneur? Show me your favorite emoji if you know this entrepreneur. This is Jen Harper, and she had a dream, literally a dream one day, that she could see little girls wearing lipstick like the lipstick I'm wearing today. And she woke up and decided, hey, I want to do that. I can do that. I'm going to figure it out. And now she owns a business that's making over $1 million a year selling lipstick all around the world and has been featured in all kinds of cool magazines like Flair and Vogue. And that's because Jen Harper decided her dream wasn't just going to stay up here, but she was going to wake up and be the consequences of her actions. Show me an emoji if you know this entrepreneur. This is Lynn Marie and her sister. They started a soap company 2 summers ago. Lynn did not like the job she was working in. She needed to figure out a new way to make money. And the coolest thing about Lynn is she decided, I'm going to literally make a soap company so I can clean up my life. But she didn't know how to make soap until she decided this, but she learned how to make soap. And now she's selling soap and selling it all over the world. And Facebook featured her last year as one of the greatest examples of business that they knew of. And then we have our friend Kendall Netmaker. Show me your emojis if you know Kendall and Nietzsche Gear in Saskatchewan. Same idea. Kendall comes from a background in sports and decided, how can I continue with this? Maybe I won't be able to continue in it for my whole life, and designed his own line of t-shirts and sweaters and apparel. And now Nietzsche Gear is online and you can buy his stuff on the internet. And then there's a new type of entrepreneur out there. It's one that's not even really selling products. It's just selling ideas. So maybe you know
this goes out to all of my Indigenous, First Nations, and Native American TikTokers, regardless of where you live in the world. Let's use this sound. Let's stand together in solidarity and show TikTok's For You page that we're relevant, we're Indigenous, and we're not going anywhere.
The really cool thing about technology is it's letting us tell our stories really quickly. And to anybody that's interested in them. And so things like TikTok are helping a whole bunch of us sell our ideas, share our ideas, connect with other businesses that share our values, where we can start making money just by promoting the stuff that we're already using and that we're already loving. So you might have heard that as an influencer. So Indigenous Baddie is a really great example of this. She has almost 350 million people that are following her, and she's teaching them all about culture in a way that they probably would never have had that experience in school. So this is your voice getting to help educate other people. It doesn't cost you anything to be able to do this, but the opportunity to make money because so many people are following you is an option. And that's not something that was available to your parents or my parents or even 10 years ago, but it's now available now. So you can be on TikTok and watch the content, or you could start creating the content and start making money doing that. But the coolest part about being an entrepreneur for me is that my boss is my little girl. This is Charlie Rose. I do everything as an entrepreneur that is going to help support her so that she has a good role model and she has a belief that she can do anything too. So she's been working with me since she was born. You can see her on the little laptop there. This is important to me because I don't want to do any work that's not connected to my heart. And so when I'm doing something and I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I could be playing with my girl or I'm doing this, that's how I know is what I'm doing still aligned with my values. And if I'm not going to be with Charlie, then that stuff that I'm working on needs to really be aligned with who I am. So how do you make a business though? What is a business? Here is the fastest introduction to how to make a business I can offer you. So the first thing you need to know is you just need an idea. Just need an idea. And the cool thing about that is ideas are free. It doesn't cost you any money to think about something. And no matter what your idea is, maybe it's like Jen Harper's lipstick, maybe it's Kendall's t-shirts, maybe it's videos on TikTok. You take that idea, and if you want, you can create a logo, a brand, just like you see here on the screen. Here are 2 different apps that you can use on the internet to create logos that cost you no money. You don't have to pay a designer to do it, but you finish with a logo that then you can put out into the world. So you can say, hi, I'm Jace. This is my business, Hatchful or Canva. Both of those tools on screen will help you build a logo really quickly. You don't need to be a designer or have a lot of experience on the internet to do it, and it won't cost you any money. And then you're going to take that logo and your idea, and you're going to bring it to the internet. Maybe you sell in Facebook Marketplace. Maybe you create YouTube videos and you make money off of the ads that people see when they watch your videos a whole bunch of times. Maybe you're putting it on Instagram and you're selling by putting 1 pair of earrings up on Instagram and letting people say, I want to buy that. And then they send you money for it. Maybe it's TikTok. There's also other platforms that are really designed for makers and creators like Etsy, where you can upload your photographs of your products and sell it. And then they take care of all of the money transfer and taxes and shipping and all of the information you need to think about there. It costs a little bit more money. And so does creating your own website or using a platform like Shopify to sell your products. But I wanted to show you these because the important part is you don't have to spend money to start making money. You can use your social platforms to start doing that. You just have to be willing to tell your story, to tell people, this is my idea, this is what I'm making. Do you want some of that? So you take your idea, you grab that logo, and you go and sell. Now, there's a lot more work to it, I'm sure you can imagine, but it's not as complicated as you think. Really, at the end of the day, when you're an entrepreneur, you're really thinking about making sure you understand how your business is working, what's coming into it, what's going out of it. And you want to be proud of both things, the things that are coming in and the things that are going out. And your job is really just to track how much money and time am I spending? And then that's what you charge. And then you know that you're doing good work when you ask yourselves, well, what value am I creating? Think back to what Justin said. You can chase money, but if it's not value, it's not love. So when we talk about measuring businesses from an Indigenous point of view, we think about measuring How much value am I creating? And this will help you understand when you can start to raise your prices, because you're saying, hey, I'm making something that's really good for the world. Maybe I'm helping other people make money. Maybe I'm helping make more connections in my community than there were before. Maybe I'm helping to grow new things, and the stuff that I'm making is good for the environment. Maybe the stuff that I make makes people feel really good. They feel loved, they feel connected. Maybe I'm creating value that I'm feeding my family good, healthy, nutritious food. When you measure all of that, that's really the work of an entrepreneur, is to be able to say, this is my idea, this is what it costs, and this is the value it's creating. And when you can communicate all of those things, the funny thing is people want to be a part of that. They want to be in your community and they want to join you in this. And then they start telling people, hey, go see Jace. She's an entrepreneur. She has this idea and this is the value it's creating. And suddenly you're making more connections, more value, and more money. And you can use that money to continue making your idea better. And that's really the art of it. That's what keeps it interesting. That makes every day of mine interesting, because I'm always asking myself, okay, well, what am I learning? I have to fail a lot as an entrepreneur. I'm the only person working on my team. So I'm adding everything that I learn every day back into that idea. So when I'm really mindful and reflective and I'm asking myself those things, that's how I'm going to take that information and put it right back into my idea. My idea will grow and grow and grow and get better and better and better. Now, some of you I know might be like, I'm 12, I'm 15, I'm 18. Like, I don't have an idea that I can turn into a business. And I'm here to say, yes, you do. You really do. But if you're not sure where that idea could come from, this is my recipe for coming up with a really good business idea. What you're going to do is ask yourself, what brings me joy? When I was 7, what did I like to do? For me, it was line up my toys and play games and have my sister pretend to be a student, and I would pretend to be a teacher, and we'd come up with all kinds of experiments and activities we could do together. And I loved doing that for her friends. I loved creating an experience for her. But one of the things that I also felt when I was 7 was my heartaches, the things that gave me a broken heart. And the stuff that really made my heart hurt was that when I went to school, I didn't see people like me. My teachers didn't look like me. I felt alone. I didn't think school was really a place where I felt joy. And so I always wanted to make education better. So that was my heartbreak. What my job was now is to take the joy, the things that I really loved doing, and the heartbreak that I experienced and I saw other people experience, and stick my skills right in between those things. And that's where I was coming up with how to build a business. What would my business be? And so now I help all kinds of different companies and businesses make education experiences for their people and their customers better than it was before. And that's because I took my joys and my heartbreaks and brought my skills together and wasn't afraid to tell people my story and share my idea with people. So that's really the recipe behind having an idea that's worth selling. And then what an entrepreneur is. It's really anybody who's not afraid to share their idea with the world and then ask people to honor that value. And the big message I think we all need to hear is that it's okay to make money doing what you love. I didn't come from a home that had a lot of money. And so wanting to make money always seemed like maybe it was a bad thing. But money isn't a bad thing if we think about it like medicine. How is it going to heal us? How is it going to take care of our family? How's it going to take care of our community? And how can we use money to make our ideas better and share them with more and more people? So if you're interested in spending some time thinking about, well, what idea would I have if I wanted to be an entrepreneur? How would I make money? I have a workshop you can take on YouTube. So I'll leave that up here on the screen. If you have a phone in front of you, you can take a picture of this screen and it'll help open up YouTube. You can go watch that workshop. I spend a lot more time than I have today with you to really ask yourselves, what are those joys? What are those heartbreaks? How do you bring those together with your skills to create an idea that you can share with the world that's going to make the world a better place, and for you to be able to step into the belief that it's okay to make money doing what you love, and that you can be the consequences of your own actions and share your value with the world one story at a time, and start your entrepreneurial journey today. And that's everything. So I'm Jace Meyer. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I really want you to know that you can be an entrepreneur too. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me on the internet at any time. Again, my name is Jace, and you can see me on the internet at Jace Actually. Thank you all so much for letting me join you here today. Enjoy the rest of your career day.
Thank you so much, Jace. I appreciate it. Let's give some great emojis and different reactions for Jace here. Fabulous. So appreciated. So I will, yeah, perfect. Fabulous. So we will kick it off. I see some presenters were sharing with me in the chat that, you know, some of the presenters are fabulous and said, you know, I'm willing to put my contact information in the chat, recognizing that not everyone will get a chance to speak. And then we have some others that wrote me and said, we really want to speak. So we will go through here. I see Brian, you have a hand here. Brian, or no, was that just a reaction, like giving a good hands up to Jace? Okay, so I would love to introduce our next career speaker. So this is Alex, director and producer. Alex, you can go ahead. Oops, Alex is not here anymore. Okay, no worries. Let's see what happens. So we will go on with, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name, so please tell me. Tyne Luan, EMS paramedic. Let's see. Are you here with us? I see you're here. AHS EMS paramedic Tyne Luan. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, I need to unmute you. Okay, no worries. No problem. Yes, I was muting everybody for noise. So sorry, give me 1 second. Here we go. Ask to unmute. Does that one work? Let's see. Okay, Zoom is being weird. So I will, I'll give you, yep, I can hear you now perfectly.
Okay, good. Sorry, it's hard to ask to unmute when you're muted, so thank you for that. So my name is Tyne Luan. I'll try to be really brief. I don't want to take up space of all these amazing presenters here, so I'll just try to give an overview, and then I'm going to pop my contact info in the chat after for anybody who wants some more details. So it's an honor to be here today, especially on this National Day for Awareness. And just a hat tilt to Justin's presentation earlier. The main reason that it's so meaningful to speak today about a profession as a paramedic is that from my experience across Alberta, we definitely have an underrepresentation of Indigenous paramedics in our field. And I'm very much a believer that the people showing up to help you when you are going through an emergency or a crisis need to also reflect those who we serve. So I really hope some of you will consider this career. So I worked, the really cool thing about paramedicine is you can work in different sectors. So over the course of my 17 years working as a paramedic, I've done air ambulance, working as a flight paramedic. I've worked for a number of years as a regular 911 ground paramedic. I served as a integrated fire medic, and then now I've actually integrated over to what's called a community paramedic. And so my job now, instead of coming to you and taking you to the hospital, my job is actually to treat you in your home and to work with the doctors and build care plans so that you do not need to go to the hospital. So a reason that I really would hope to inspire some students here to go into paramedicine is it is a really meaningful profession that allows you to directly serve your community. It's something where once you get your education, you don't have to go and move away and go somewhere else to serve. There's opportunity all across the province, all across Canada, rural, urban, to do this role. Alberta Health Services is the provincial provider for ambulance, but there are different contractors too. So, and sometimes there's even some First Nation specific ambulance services. So definitely to check into those. It's hard to summarize all this. So basically, if you want to look into a job as a paramedic, the two different types of paramedics in Alberta are primary care paramedic and an advanced care paramedic. You need to get the primary care before you can go on to an advanced care paramedic. So that's my level of training. I'm an advanced care paramedic. It's the highest training in Alberta. And then I went and did additional clinical rotations to learn how to be a community paramedic. I'm not going to talk about the schools and the education and stuff. I'm just going to put that in the link for you to go look at a different time. But I just want to kind of list off some skills and some character traits and kind of like who would make a good paramedic. I'm just going to kind of mention some of those, and if it resonates with you, I really hope you'll look into this job. So the biggest thing about showing up as a paramedic practitioner is that you need to be somebody who genuinely cares for and about people. You need to be responsible, have a good sense of strong moral ethics, emotional intelligence, empathy, compassion for others. It's a neat role because you work independently and you get to think, and things are always changing, but you also work as a team. So it's a cool job because you get to really show up as yourself and be yourself and let your assets be elevated, but at the same time, you're collaborating always with your paramedic team members. And it's a job that, because it's always changing and you're working with people who are always dynamic and different, it's a job where you have to be really okay with failure and being resourceful and figuring things out on the go. And I know for me, that's something that really inspires me. I like to use my brain. I like to think my way through things. And so, you know, I've been doing this for 17 years. I'll probably be doing it for a good number longer. It's a job that is always exciting and always engaging. What else? Just to leave you, my very favorite thing about this job is that in big and small ways, every day that I go see patients and care for clients, I'm making an impact in their lives. And it doesn't always have to be the big life-saving things. It can be something as simple as you know, caring for an elder, or I especially have such a place in my heart for caring for our elders and our seniors. So it's a job that at the end of every day, you can go home and you can really see and feel and be fulfilled for the meaning and the impact you're making in the world. So again, thank you for this brief time. This is just so cool. Everybody's being so flexible here. I think you all would make outstanding paramedics. And again, I'll put some details in the chat. So thank you again.
Love that. Thank you so much. Exactly what you said, right? We're already developing those skills to be paramedics today. So this resilience and flexibility, don't think that it's just something small. It could lead to much bigger things in the future. Great. Next up, we have Gwyn Communications. Gwyn Communications. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. I hope you can't see my speaker notes, but hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is just a quick list of what we're going to be going through. So we're going to be running through pretty quickly. So my name is Robin Ferguson. I'm Tuscarora of the Six Nations of the Grand River in Southern Ontario. I just graduated from Mount Royal University with a communications degree, specializing in public relations and speech. And of course, I work at Gwyn Communications as a communications coordinator. Stephanie is going to speak as well if she's...
Hi, I hope you can see me. Oh, there we go. Okay, yes. Hi, I'm Stephanie Joe, and I'm from the Champagne and Ajax First Nations in the Yukon. I currently work in Treaty 7, which is Calgary. I have a diploma in journalism and communications degree. And so with communications, it's more about storytelling. So I'm a storyteller by nature, and communications is simply another way to tell stories. And so we both work for Gwyn Communications, which is a full service PR company. And so we provide for our clients community outreach, strategic planning, crisis communications, political strategies, social media marketing, media relations, and cultural awareness training. And we provide services to several First Nations communities throughout Canada. It's not just in our spaces that we live. So we're completely across Canada yeah.
So what is communications? In a really broad sense, it is giving, receiving, or exchanging ideas, information, and messages through the appropriate channels, which enables individuals or groups to persuade, give, and seek information and express emotions. That includes things like social media, blogs, websites, news articles, in-person speaking, body language, images, videos, and so much more. So what kind of jobs can you get with that? At Gwyn Communications, you could offer your expertise in public relations, journalism, graphic design, marketing, or multimedia, like video production, photography, animation, TV, radio, broadcast, web development. Communications, really, it's not one thing. No two professionals are the same, and no 2 days will ever really look the same. So if you get bored easily, like me, then a career in communications may be right for you. I haven't been bored yet in 5 years. So it's honestly, it's awesome. So you may even find yourself working with celebrities like Ashley Collingbull or Ethan Bear, or influencers like Marika Sela and Notorious Cree. Stephanie?
And education. So this is the education that you need for a job in communications. The communications industry is always growing and changing, and so your education continually grow with it. You can get degrees, diplomas, and certificates in programs like journalism, graphic design, broadcasting, marketing, digital media, and public relations, to name a few. There's more than one route into communications, but the industry is growing to start placing more emphasis on degree programs. You're not limited to a bachelor's degree in communication specifically. And your education can get you in a career in so many different areas. Like with an agency like Gwyn Communications, you can work for a corporation and communications department, working with the government or nonprofit organizations, even working with social media, professional social media influencers. So Kendra, who spoke this morning and gave us that amazing neck stretches, she's an influencer and has many people. So we might work with someone like her to ask to get our message out, and she can reach a lot of people. You know, I've seen people take their career in communications in so many different ways.
Yeah, so listed here, it's a quick look into some of the services that we offer our clients at Gwyn Communications. This is a non-exhaustive list of many of the awesome skills that people on our team bring to the table, and of the different kinds of things that you could find yourself doing on this kind of job. One of our team members learns a new skill, we can add that as a new service offering to the list. The unique skills and talents that you bring into a position can have a direct impact on the work that your company does, which is honestly not something that can be said for every potential career out there. So if you're good at something, you can bring it to this job and they can sell your skills. Yeah. Oh man, why is it doing this? Okay, there we go. Stephanie?
A day in the life. So what do we do in a daily? Every day is actually completely different. And so a normal day might look like we might have a morning meeting, and that's always the same. But after that, you could be doing anything from talking to an elder. You can be talking to an elder, listening to their traditional stories, writing a news release. It's different every day. And so, you know, you get to talk to people all over Canada who are just like you, or they're Indigenous, and they're doing things that, you know, that are just amazing. And so if you get bored easily, like Robin said, communications is definitely the job for you.
Stephanie, continue.
And so this is one of our campaigns that we've worked on. This is Protect Our Elders, which gets youth involved in making safe choices about the pandemic so that our elders and knowledge keepers are protected. Who was involved in this? We had Ashley Collingbull, Ethan Bear, Serene Fox, even the national chief, Perry Bellegarde, was involved.
Throughout our lives, elders have helped guide us and protect us.
They're always there for us when the times are tough.
We know we can always count on them to be there for us.
So now, we need to be there for them.
Our actions each day will save lives.
So that's just like a quick little taste of some of the work we did and some of the people that we work with during this kind of things. And we have another campaign over here, Your Health, Our Strength. That one is going on right now. We are working with Dr. Evan Adams, or if you know Thomas from Smoke Signals, that's the same person. So it's really cool, the different kinds of people that we can end up working with. So that's kind of all we've got for you today. It'd be a little more comprehensive if we had the 20 minutes, but if you have any questions, you can send us an email or check out our website and we'll just post that in the chat. So thank you very much for listening to us speak to you.
Loving it. Thank you so much. Good communications. Let's give them a big, nice emojis. Anything we have here? Fabulous. Yes. I appreciate your flexibility and your speed speeches. It's nice to get a perspective. And if anyone has more questions, you can always write to their wonderful speakers in the chat, or as you said, follow up via email later. Okay, we're going. I love the reactions. Okay, we're having great reactions here in the chat. Thank you all so much. I will pass it on now to Danielle from ATEP, ATEP. Yes, okay, I'm sorry. Thanks, Danielle, appreciate it. And for all the speakers, before I pass it, I have this please wrap up card. So just please make sure we can stay under 5 minutes, because I got a lot of messages. Many people want to share and we want to make sure everyone gets a chance. Thank you all again for your understanding. I pass it to you, Danielle.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll just share here. There we go. So I'm here today to talk to you about ATEP, which is at the University of Alberta. We're the Aboriginal Teacher Education Program. So ATEP has been around for about 20 years. It's a Bachelor of Elementary Education. So anybody who's interested in teaching the youngsters in the group. We have had secondary students as well. So anybody who is interested in teaching in general, we can usually get you into ATEP in some way. So the cool thing about ATEP is that you get the same degree that you would at the University of Alberta in the regular faculty, but we're a value added program. So you have a lot of support with us. ATEP prioritizes Indigenous ways of knowing and being in all of our teaching. And you do practicums down the road with Indigenous students. So I believe Jace mentioned earlier that she didn't see a lot of Indigenous teachers in the classroom growing up, and a lot of Indigenous students don't see themselves represented well in the teaching profession right now. So that's ATEP's mandate, is to be able to increase the number of Indigenous teachers in Alberta. So if you're interested in teaching, we're a really great way to go. We have different community cohorts out of a recognition, let's just go through, that there are folks outside of Edmonton who need to be able to access education and who should be able to teach in their communities. So we have different partner colleges that we work with. You can also come to our main campus and do a program with us. So lots of flexibility, lots of different ways that you can get involved in the communities that you're going to be working in down the road. And like I said, the biggest way between ATEP and regular Bachelor of Education programs is that we really do prioritize these Indigenous knowledges. So our courses themselves are tweaked so that we are including Indigenous pedagogies and traditions and culture, and then you take those experiences and go share them with your students. So I'll pop some more information in the chat. I'm trying to keep this very quick as possible. I also have Cody Baptiste here with us. So he's our program coordinator. So student support, we have a lot of different ways that we support you through the program academically, extracurricular, mental health, all of that good stuff. So if Cody has a couple words to say, I'll leave a bit of space for him, but otherwise I'll give some info in the chat here. But if you're interested in teaching at all, please reach out to us and we'll get in touch about how we can support you in that journey.
Hi, Danielle. Yeah, I'm here. So I'll say a few words. So I went through a teacher education program, and I was a high school teacher for 5 years. I taught in Kihiwin First Nation, which some of you might know. And I took the skills that I learned from a teacher education program, and I went and taught on reserve, which is kind of what Indigenous teacher education program is designed to do. You don't necessarily have to teach on reserve, but a lot of people love to bring their education back to their home community. So that answers the question about, can you work from a small community? Yes, you can as a teacher. There's always a need for teachers in your home communities. And it's always nice to see people that are from the community teaching the youth the community that you're from. So I'll just say a little bit about, students, what a day in the life of a teacher looks like. You spend most of your days with a teacher, maybe not now in the pandemic, but you have. So from the school hours, you see them, giving you guys lessons, helping you guys with your work and your coursework, acting as mentors. What you don't see is before they get to school, they're up early. They have to get prepared for the day themselves. Some have to travel to get to where they work. They also prepare in the morning. So getting the smartboard ready, getting the lesson ready, getting the materials ready. Then you see them do what you do at school. And then after school, they have after school activities they have to participate in. So those are maybe some of the parts that you don't see. They could be hosting clubs or coaching sporting, sports teams. Also, they could be having meetings, and meetings might run till usually 5 or 6 o'clock. Then they usually get home, travel home. They usually spend some time with their family, and then they might have planning or marking they do in the evening time. So a teacher's job isn't just 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. It's kind of almost an all-day job. Very rewarding. What kind of people should become teachers? I'll just rattle off some things. You should have a love for learning. You're going to be in a learning environment for a lot of the time, so that should be something that you're interested in. You should love serving community. The community that you will be teaching in will be, you'll have to be actively participating in it. You should have patience, because teaching will test your patience. So you should have some kind of ability to be patient when things get tough. And you got to be able to be on all the time, because image is very important to teaching and being a teacher. So you have to conduct yourself well out in the public and remain professional at all times. And you can't be not worried about getting rich or prestige. You will be respected as a teacher because it's a respectful job, but you might spend your career just serving students and not getting to a very high position unless that's your ambition, and that's totally doable too. So I was a high school teacher. I'm now a program support coordinator with the U of A. I didn't necessarily stay in the classroom, and that's what you can do with a teaching degree. You can move around and do other jobs that don't necessarily have to be in a classroom. And so those are some options that are there for you. I would highly recommend becoming a teacher. It's been great. You get to travel, you get to meet a lot of great people, you make meaningful relationships, and I can't recommend it enough. And if ATEP's an interest to you, definitely look for that information. Search us up on the internet, search us up on all the social medias, and we'd be happy to hear from you. And then that's really all I have to say. I want to thank the organizers for having ATEP here today, and the keynote speakers were great messages, and we're just happy to share all this information with you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's get some great reactions going here. Appreciate it, ATEP. Show some Zoom love. Okay, I will introduce without further ado. I love it. It's like speed presentations. But as people mentioned here in the chat, like I am loving seeing all these amazing different perspectives. So thank you all for sharing, even speed style presentations. Super interesting. Someone want to share something? No.
I was gonna share. It's Dean here. My first job was with my grandpa, and I got fired in like 5 minutes because this thing called needle. It's a needle bar, and you pound that needle bar into the hole, and then I dropped it. $300 later, he told me go home. That was my first job.
Amazing. Thanks, Dean. We love your jokes. Okay, without further ado, I would love to introduce here, oops, give me 1 second. I will spotlight you. So we have Mike Waters from Avenge Energy Services.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for including me. I really enjoyed the day so far. I'll just share my screen here. Oh, maybe if you can see it, I don't know if you can or not, but that's, can you guys see my LinkedIn? So that's me. I'm a corporate account manager for Avenge Energy Services, and they service the oil and gas and the industrial customers in Western Canada. So they provide back trucks and steam units, a lot of industrial stuff, which are all good things I could talk about as far as opportunities for a career. But I thought if I could stick with maybe my history and my career as a salesperson, business development. I mean, personally, I've really enjoyed it, and I never did really think of it as an option when I was growing up. I grew up in New Brunswick, and we didn't have much going on in terms of activity. It's a pretty depressed marketplace out there. So if you're growing up in Alberta or BC or Saskatchewan, you're really lucky. There's a lot of opportunity out there for good paying opportunities for jobs, and they don't all have to be in coveralls and pulling wrenches or driving trucks. Even though if that's what you're into, there's lots of opportunity for that, and it's great. But if you'd like to see a little bit about business development or being in sales, this is kind of a funny thing. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it's like what society thinks I do, count money, what my mom, if you're in sales, what my team thinks I do with your feet up, but what you really do is herd cats. And a lot of it is that you're the organizer for all the activity that's going on. You're trying to promote whatever business might be out there. So you might ask, well, what types of businesses are out there that you could work for in business development? And every little yellow dot on this is rigortalk.com. And if you're interested in maybe growing your social network footprint outside of TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, and start looking for things that are going on in industry, Rigor Talk has been really helpful to me to see what's going on in the world, and what businesses are operating in these places. Another good resource I would say to use if you're interested in a career in business development. This map is from Rig Locator. riglocator.ca. If you go there and create an account, every little green dot here is drilling rig, and each drilling rig really represents millions of dollars in terms of services and that would go to each drilling project. So I guess it's not as uplifting as maybe being a teacher or a paramedic, but this is what a lot of people do for work in Alberta, including myself. And you need to know what companies are operating. You need to know, like, if you click on it, it's Tourmaline Oil. So if you're just beginning to think about your career, start learning these companies. Canadian Natural Resources, what their plans are for the year and their drilling, how they're doing. And maybe I'm a bit of a nerd. I kind of like doing this, but yeah, there's just so much, and this is really slow. So like everything, we probably have about 15% of our possible activity that's running right now. So and it's still and it's on the upswing. And if you have the background about Aboriginal communities and involving them and including and being aware, it's so key to business today. And there really is a focus on doing a better job at including the traditional groups, the Aboriginal groups that were on these places where these projects are going on. So there's a lot of good opportunity there. Another website to maybe look into is the Petroleum Services Association of Canada. Lots of good information here. And if you're just wondering, well, what does this mean? Like, what is out there for these jobs, you know, and I just did a quick search on Workopolis, and I mean, you know, there's a few jobs on here, but I mean, you're $94,000 a year, $140,000 a year. And the reason is, if you're successful and you enjoy what you do, you as a salesperson or business development person for a services company, you can drive a lot of revenue, and you're very valuable to these companies. And it's just a matter of developing a network, because I guess that's another good thing for me is in business development, it's not so much how smart you are. You know, you really don't need a university degree, although, you know, I do have one, but it's something about, you know, developing a good business network of people, and you have a reputation for, you know, being trustworthy and that sort of thing. And that you develop that, and then you can work for any of those services companies. And you can kind of pick and choose. And if you don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, start one up. It's free, and begin adding. I think you could add the majority of people that are on this call today and follow them and see what's going on. And it's I guess it's a less kittens playing with other kitten videos, and it's more kind of getting into the adult world. But I guess that's where we all end up. Some days I find myself just wanting to watch those funny videos, but this is kind of the adult version. So
thank you so much, Avenge.
Sure.
I'm sorry I have to wrap you up here, but if you
Thanks
have
again.
something else, you can put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, much appreciated. Woohoo! We're continuing here with the speed style. Thanks so much, and we can maybe stop sharing. I will share now, which is super interesting because I see White Owl Tattoo actually tattooing right now. So I'm going to pass the spotlight to you. Please go ahead.
Is this for me? Hello?
Yeah, White Owl Tattoo, go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering when I was going to get a chance to talk. So my name is Milburn. I'm from Slave Lake, Alberta. I'm First Nations from Big Stone Cree Nation up in Wabasca, Alberta. I own and operate my own tattoo shop here in Slave Lake. I have two other employees that work here for me. And sorry, I'm just in the middle of a tattoo, guys. But for what I do as a tattoo artist, it's gets pretty hard some days. Some days it's not as hard. But I have started tattooing when I was 14 up in Peace River, Alberta. I had an uncle who was a tattoo artist, and he started training me from when I was a kid. So this is all I've been doing ever since then. I've started working all over Alberta as a native tattoo artist, and I found that like I had a hard time with a lot of companies that I worked for. I worked through Grand Prairie, Peace River, Edmonton, and I found that in every shop and every place that I worked for, that it was hard because I was an Aboriginal. Always clients always come in and wonder, can this guy really tattoo or not? So instead of working for people, I found that it was better for me just to start my own business, which I have started here in Slave Lake, Alberta. I've been here, the tattoo shop's been here roughly 6-7 years now. And I started with little to no money when I started the tattoo shop. I didn't even have enough for the rent, and then 6 years later, I pretty much, the shop is self-sufficient now. I don't have to worry about money or anything like that. But I am working on a tattoo right now. As you guys can see, I'll show you guys kind of something what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm doing on this client right now. And so with the tattoo industry, it can be it can be brutal at times, especially right now with COVID. We're going to be actually having a shutdown here on Sunday, and with the government and COVID happening, we've had to shut down. So we'll probably be shut down for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So being a tattoo artist, stuff like that do happen. There's a lot of times when you're tattooing in this industry where you sit around and wait for clients. It's not as glamorous as what some people seem to think it is. It's a lot of waiting and a lot of sitting around and a lot of drawing. So with you're gonna be able to have to draw and stuff like that to get into this industry right from the start. I have a guy here that works for me. His name is Gage. He started his career at Creative Ink. They have a tattoo school up there in Grand Prairie, and I have some family up there that actually run it. Like I consider them family because I worked with them my whole life. But they actually started. I started training some of them, and then now I've been doing it out of my own shop. And I actually have the one guy who was a student there working here now, and he's been with me here for a month now, and he's doing pretty good. But in order to get into your foot into the door, he actually did take the program up there in Grand Prairie at Creative Ink. It's called Tattoo Studio, and they actually have like a program that you can get into. And the program, it teaches you the fundamentals of tattooing, like what we do every day. They teach you blood pathogen, your tag, how to do taxes, all that kind of fine stuff. But when you're actually in the industry, it's a little harder from what you guys might have seen on TV or stuff like that, because there's a lot of your back gets sore, your arms get sore, your eyes get sore every day. So, I mean, this is a fast-paced kind of industry. What I do, I mean, with the COVID going on right now, it just makes it a little bit harder for us right now because we're gonna have to shut down here right away. So we're trying to jump in as many people as we can right now. That's why I'm doing a tattoo as we're live here. But if you're interested in this kind of career, to all the kids out there, you should actually try to think about getting into an apprenticeship program, or like what Gage did there. He went to Creative Ink and went that route. Most shops do recognize the program now because it's the only program in all of Canada that's Aboriginal owned, Aboriginal run, and so it's a good thing for a lot of Aboriginals right now to get into this industry, because there's a lot of artistic talent out there that I see. I mean, I have people come into the shop every day trying to show us pictures or drawings or send us portfolios and stuff like that, and it's all Indigenous. So I'm really proud of what's going on right now in our industry, especially with the Aboriginal people coming into this tattooing industry. When I first started, there was only maybe 2 or 3 of us, and now I can count at least as many on both of my hands. So it's kind of interesting to see. As an Aboriginal owner, it's very rewarding to see our people getting recognized for a lot of things. Like for instance, for me, I applied to be on Ink Master, which I'll be a part of when this COVID ends. I'm gonna fly out to New York and be a part of that. So I'm kind of excited to be in an industry where I can be starting to get recognized as an Aboriginal, not just as an artist. I'm getting recognition just for being a native. So it's kind of cool. If you guys, I'll drop the link and stuff in the chat there. I'll put my White Owl page and stuff like that. If anybody has any questions for me or anything like that, I'm down to answer anything. I'm pretty open to everything. I'll just give you guys a little quick shot of what I'm working on right now. How can we? There we go. So I just started the bottom part, and I'm working my way up now.
Wow.
So I'll give you guys a little picture of that, and this is what I actually came up with for this guy here. Say hi. Hi. So We usually
Amazing.
have music and stuff pumping up in the shop, but because I'm on the phone here, I kind of have to shut the music off while we're going. I'll give you guys a little quick tour of the shop as well, but like I said, I'm time restrained here, so thank you for letting me speak. And for all of you kids out there that are into this industry, be sure to look into it, do some research and find out, because it is a tough industry to get into.
Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, have you ever seen live tattooing on Zoom before?
I don't know. I only did it because the chat thing was, it started at 10 o'clock this morning, so I've been on this thing since then, and I still have to make money. I still have to keep going, so I thought, you know what, I'll just set up my little station here and I'll keep going with on the live once I get a chance to talk. I think it'd be kind of interesting for the kids to actually see like what I do, right?
Exactly, 100%. So excellent that we really got a day at your career with you. So thank you all so much. Let's give a big applause. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm never seen that before in my life.
Hey, Minburn, it's Dean Flett. Do you remember me?
I do. I did a tattoo for you. I did.
Yes, I'm gonna show everybody.
Wayne Gretzky signature. I remember.
Yes, right here, guys. So Wayne Gretzky was in Slave Lake, and he signed my arm. And then the next day, that day, I was looking for somebody to do my arm, and Minburn came up on social media. I gave him a call on the Sunday, and he came out of his home to do my tattoo. So Wayne Gretzky signed my arm, and he added that. So I think I'm the only one that has a Gretzky tattoo in the world. Thanks a lot, Minburn. You're awesome. You do awesome work.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And be sure to follow us on social media, on Twitter, everything, Instagram. We're White Owl Tattoos. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Hi, I just wanted to say something real quick.
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, Milburn, you also did a tattoo on me, on my neck.
Did I?
You can see me.
Hi. I did a tattoo for you on your neck. Did I do it here at the shop?
Here in Peace River when you had the shop out here.
Oh, right on, man. Still looks pretty good.
I'm loving the connections here. See, even on Zoom, we can feel connected and part of the community. Thank you all so much. That was wonderful. We really appreciate you sharing. We still have a bit of time and we have many speakers. So I apologize if we don't get through all, but I'm really trying to go through here. Without further ado, next we have GPRC, and I will spotlight all of you. So GPRC, give me 1 second. Okay. Oops. You see? Something is really weird. It's happening with Zoom today. Okay, you can maybe start talking and we'll go in speaker view, but somehow spotlight is now gone as an option. Sergeant Martina, would you like to start?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm going to put on my timer. So I'm going to try and keep this under 5 minutes. So my name is Martina Noski. I'm from Loon Lake. She's in GPRC and I'm with the RCMP. So I don't know who's supposed to go on. Hello.
It's all you. So sorry.
Okay. Okay, so my name is Martina Noski. I'm with the RCMP. I've been in the RCMP for 21 years, 21 years this past March. So I'm going to kind of quickly go through my time in Alberta. Actually, they're zooming on a bunch of people here. Michelle Phillips, which I've known her from before. So I'll quickly go on. So, and then I'll give them an opportunity to talk. I'm from Loon Lake. I am a proud Native woman from Loon Lake. I've been in the RCMP for 21 years. I did all of my time here. the education I went through to get into the program, I guess, to get into the RCMP, I went to Red Deer, did my business management education for 4 years. And then I was a 911 dispatch operator before that. And then when that was quite challenging, I was living in Slave Lake. And then from there, I joined the RCMP at 21 years, 24, when I was 24 years old, back when I was 24 years old. So just about 10 years ago. So I'm just kidding. So so from there, my first posting was up in Fort McMurray, which I did 4 years there. And then I went to Edmonton and Peace River, Desmarais, Stony Plain, and back to Fort McMurray now. So, and I'm kind of cruising through all of this. So when I was younger in Loon Lake, when I went to school in Red Deer, I would do the summer student program. So I'd go to school September to April, and then my First Nation paid for like the Aboriginal cadet program, I guess is what it's called, which I was able to do that for the summer. So I did that for a while as like an entry level position. But back when I was in school, in high school, I graduated from Clarence Jacob School in Loon Lake, which is where my cousin Bonnie Rhodes teaches. And when in graduating, I always knew I wanted to join the RCMP. My brother Alan Noski was also a member. So when I went to his grad, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So which is one of the reasons why, like with the RCMP graduations, we wear a red serge. So what this means here is like, this is my rank. So I'm a sergeant here. And then this side is the amount of service, but I'm missing a star here because I have 21 years service. So, and I am proud to say right now, normally most people don't fit into their red serge 21 years later. This is my original serge. So I'm actually quite proud to do that. I'm currently doing, I got 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes. So I got a couple more minutes here, Michelle. So I'm currently in the personal fitness trainers program through NATE on top of working full-time as an RCMP member. So I'm the operations NCO right now up in Fort McMurray. But just yesterday, I actually, I had applied for a position. So I'm going to be the Indigenous Liaison Coordinator for Fort McMurray. And that it'll be in Fort McMurray, but it's also out of K Divisions. It's also out of Edmonton. So that's what I will be doing in after the summer. So I'll be working more focused on our people, our communities, in trying to promote more people joining us, right? So I am, like I said, I'm a proud First Nations Indigenous member. And I've had my challenges when we don't have time to go through that. But yeah, I think through my current studies right now, I will likely go into the U of A kinesiology program. So I've known Dean my entire service, well, my entire life really. So we went to Bible camps together and stuff. So I got 20 seconds. So I'm going to pass it off on to Michelle. If you guys have any questions, just ask over chat. I know Wendy has my cell phone contact information. I put my contact information out there. We are always looking for our people to join us. So if you want to join us, let me know. I have, like I said, I have 21 years in. I'll be working with our communities in the near future. And I have a list of what requirements that we need to join us. But yes, Samuel Carafel, the training was hard because I went a little bit, sorry, I'm just answering questions. The training was a little bit hard because I wasn't prepared going in, but now you can actually prepare to go in. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me. I have all like the programs as to what kind of training that you will go through. Physical training, you go through shooting, physical, you go through like the law and how to deal with stuff. The training is, if I were to go back with the same people, I would go back. As much as like paramedics, Justin and all the other people out there, like my sisters, my sister, my cousin, they have they're teachers, right? I would not be a teacher, but I am proud to be a police officer. I truly believe it's the best job in the world. Not often thankful, like not often, like people don't quite often thank us for it, but for the most part, that's me, and then that's me personally. So, but no, I cannot show my gun. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to give Michelle here, I'm a minute and a half over. So I'm going to give Michelle here a bit of time to talk. So go ahead, Michelle. I can't hear you.
Hi there. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me? Okay. So unlike Martina, I had a giggle there when she talked about fitting in her first red surge. I have had a couple children. I still fit in my uniform, so I do what I need to do. I'm Corporal Michelle Phillips. I work out of the Peace Regional RCMP detachment, which is one of the detachments that Martina worked at in the past as well. And I will touch a little bit on that initial question that you'd sent out to us about sort of what you need to become an RCMP member, trying to fill in maybe any spaces Martina left for me to fill there. So you need to be a good character, have a driver's license, speak one of Canada's official languages, English or French, and then be a Canadian resident. You used to have to be a Canadian citizen, but it's now Canadian resident. And have a, I think I said high school diploma. As Martina stated, you're going to have a much easier time in training if you have some post-secondary and life experience under your belt. So post-secondary can be anything. However, if you have a university degree, that assists you in your ability to study and prepare and write exams. So that would help you with the police entrance exams. If your degree is related to law enforcement, that's going to help you in training in the applied police sciences, where you're learning about the law, case law, communication, all those different things, speaking, public speaking, presenting. You can also have a college diploma. So there are several community colleges that put out law enforcement related diplomas. And so that's helpful as well. So post-secondary definitely will help you get through training with a lot less difficulty than if you go in straight out of high school, which is possible. And then that life experience I talked about, I have here with me also is Constable Kaylee Kewatin-Smith. And she's a newer member. We're keeping our space from each other here, but so she's recently been through Depot as well, and she's played high level sports. And so we were talking before this presentation about the crossover, much like I believe I have to, the hockey player at the beginning, I apologize if I'm not remembering his name, but that crossover from working as a team, because when you hit your detachment, you don't get to choose the members that you work with. You don't get to choose the detachment that you go to. You don't get to choose the supervisors that you have. So much like when you play high level sports, you're put onto a team or chosen to be on that team. And then you have to find a way to fit into that team and work well together, accomplish the same goal, and help them be successful as well as yourself be successful. So that life experience can assist you when you're applying to the RCMP. So much like what he had said, you want to be out there being a good team player and having those coaches as references. And so that can help you in your application as well. What makes me feel the RCMP, much like Martina, is the best job in the world. So I had a career prior to this. I was a financial planner, and I left financial planning to join the RCMP 15 years ago. And really, it's not a job. It's much more of a something that you do that gives you great meaning, because every single day we're able to help people and we're able to have an impact on people's lives. And so being that face of calm in a crisis can really impact people and in ways you might not recognize. And so later on, and I'm just getting a quick message to wrap up, later on, as time gone by, I've had people that I've dealt with in the public contact me and tell me about times that I didn't recognize that I was able to impact their lives when they were having some of their worst moments. So that's really the most heartfelt thing about the RCMP, is that you get to help others, you get to help them through some of their worst times and be there for them. And so, yeah, I will wrap it up because we're running short on time. Kaylee will say goodbye.
Okay. Okay, so
Wendy, Romy, am I still on? Hello?
Yeah, you're still on.
Onse Martina, Dean.
Unante
Onse.
Garcia. If
I'm always good.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys have any questions,
Cheers.
I know I had like a longer 20-minute chat, talk about all the details Michelle went through. And even then, like if you guys are interested in finding out where to go for the career plans, the career presentations and all that stuff, I have it all laid out here on my desk. But yeah, no, it's just if anybody is interested in joining, obviously reach out to me. I'm going to throw my email address on there and my contact information. And obviously Dean will know how to reach out to me as well. So if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call, don't hesitate to ask. And I appreciate your time. And I know everybody is running over time. I appreciate your time. And, just be all you can be is all I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sergeant Martina. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your service. There was comments in the chat, right? 21 years. So thank you all so much for your service and for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. There's lots more questions in the chat you may want to answer or respond to.
Yeah, I'll answer the chats as I go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful. So we have a little bit of time here before we have to get to the prizes. I just wanted to check and see if Alex, are you here? I was writing you requested. Alex, are you? Yes, there you are, Alex. I will spotlight you. Fabulous. Go ahead, Alex. You have 5 minutes.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I didn't know that this was going to be a presentation thing. So I sort of quickly together through a presentation. My name is Alex Lazarovich, and I'm a film director and I'm a producer. So I work in the film and television industry here in Canada and the United States. Sorry, I have construction going on in the background. I hope you can't hear that too loudly. But I just wanted to pull up a quick presentation that I sort of hobbled together just to show you some things that we do in the creative industry that might be useful for all of the youth that are on this call. Basically, I work in the film and television industry. I do have a degree in history. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree. However, I would say that there are a lot of people who work in the industry who do not have a degree. And that is something that, if you want to get into the arts industry, you can pursue many avenues. The University of Alberta has a great arts program. There's many schools that offer film and television programs, but you can also start from the bottom and work your way up. It's not the most advisable way to do it, but it is possible. And, in the industry, there's lots of opportunities for youth and more specifically Indigenous youth to be involved in the industry right now. There are so many mentorship programs that are available through the National Screen Institute, through the Indigenous Screen Office, through many different film festivals across Canada and the United States, including, Whistler Film Festival, Doxa Film Festival. There's a Imaginative Film Festival, which is strictly for Indigenous artists and Indigenous made projects. There's many programs that are available to teens that are working in the industry. So, maybe if you're uncertain about whether the film and TV industry would be good for you, you can work on some projects over the summer. People will pay you some money to, make a short film using your iPhone or whatever materials you sort of have at hand. And that's a good way to discover if that's something you'd be interested in. It's a very vibrant industry. Right now, there's a lot of talk about diversity, and people are really looking for Indigenous stories told by Indigenous creators. And I think, there's lots of added value in having our communities be invited to this space. And, there's a couple projects that I've been a part of that, had some really interesting, sorry, I pulled up the wrong presentation, that have had some really interesting sort of long takes. I directed a film called Fast Horse that you can watch on YouTube. It's 14 minutes long. It's about following a Indian relay team from the Siksika Nation, and we follow them for 1 year as they go to the Calgary Stampede. That's one project that I directed, and it premiered at Sundance Film Festival, at festivals all around the world. Also, I work on a television series, and I'm the series producer for CBC Still Standing. You can watch it on CBC Gem. And basically, we are a travel show, and we travel to remote communities across Canada with our host, Johnny Harris, who's on Murdoch Mysteries. And he does cool and fun things in small communities. And, you know, I started all of these jobs. Starting at the bottom, I worked as a production assistant, which is often a way that youth get involved in filmmaking. And there's many different avenues to get those types of jobs. And you basically go on set and you learn. I hired my nephew as a production assistant for one project, and he basically got coffee and lunch for the entire crew. And he was paid a daily sum to get lunch and coffee. And that's the way you can be around crew and sort of learn from other people about the sort of like, you know, specific roles that people are doing on set. You know, myself, I'm a director and a producer, but there's also, you know, sound operator, there's also cinematographer, director of photography, there's writers, there are people who deal specifically in lighting a scene, which is really important and, you know, involves a lot of sort of technical and physical aspects. I think what's really important when we think of the film industry is, you know, this is from Fox Maxey, and, you know, they say it perfectly, is like anyone can make a movie. And I think, you know, you have the toolkit in your hand as a storyteller to tell whatever stories you want to tell. And a movie can be sort of anything. It can be 1 minute, it can be 30 seconds, it can be anything that your imagination, you know, wants to create. So don't limit yourself to thinking like, you know, you have to make a movie and it has to be a Star Wars or it has to end up on Netflix. There's so many ways to make art in this industry. And there's so many people who want to support you to create and share your vision. There's one of the things that I created was Alex's filmmaking tips. And I'll just say this. So number one, when you become a filmmaker, you're going to have to learn to write. So one of the skills that you should sort of be looking to is like, you know, improving your writing skills, because no matter what project you're working on, you're going to have to write something down. You're going to have to get what's up in here onto paper. The second one I would advise is be nice. If you're going to be in this industry, it's really important because you never know where someone is going to end up. You would be surprised how many people run studios right now, how many people work and are commissioning editors for CBC. Another suggestion is be authentic, especially as like young Native youth. Be who you want to be. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else, and you don't have to pretend to be anybody else that's in the industry. You know, like you can foster your own creativity through your own identity and your own nation and your own experience. So you don't have to rely on stereotypes or tropes to tell the stories that you want to tell. Everyone is looking for just authentic stories, and that's whatever you deem that to be and whatever you're willing to share. You know, don't get stuck in this idea of having non-Indigenous people use you and your ideas for access to your community. I think that's a big one when you're starting out, is that you're looking for opportunities, but just be wary of someone who wants to come to your community or, you know, meet you and just use your ideas as an Indigenous person to get money for their projects. Number 4 is read all contracts, no matter what you do. This is an important one. You never want to be legally on the hook for projects you sign up for, or this applies to any sort of job. Read everything that you're signing up for so you understand what's going to be happening. The sort of, you know, build your good credit. Good credit goes a long way in this industry. And, you know, you're going to have to get a credit card and you're going to have to put down a deposit for renting equipment. And you really need a credit card and good credit to sort of make sure that you're able to do those things. So you're not at a disadvantage in either having to rely on another person or even your parents to rent equipment in the industry. And now this is the last one, and maybe let our CMP officers and everybody else will agree with me, is that buy good boots. You will be standing on your feet for hours and hours on set. And I feel like this is never shared enough, but when you're working on set, and we work on a travel show, we work about 14 to 16 hours a day sometimes. And you have to be wearing comfy shoes. And one tip that I got from somebody is that if you're working that long and you're wearing the same pair of shoes, you bring a second pair of socks with you and you change your socks at lunch. And you feel like a new person once you change your socks. These are just some like very overall tips to talk, you know, about what, if you'd be interested in the film industry. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. Also, I have a website. You can email me. If you have any questions about getting into the industry or stuff that you want to make, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm available, and I'm always just so interested in meeting youth and figuring out what stories they want to share and be told, because you're the next generation. And honestly, we need people like you to bring forth new stories and new exciting ways of learning about our people and sharing your identity and your community with people. So that's my quick presentation, and thank you so much. This was a really great day.
Thank you so much, Alex. Oh man, can we get some emoji love or something in the chat? Thank you. Some claps. Yes, fabulous. Thank you, Alex. I just wanted to mention, we will keep going with some presentations. We know that we're going to go a bit over time, but I don't want you to forget. I don't want you to forget that there are 4 $100 gift cards and 40 $25 cards plus from NLC and GPRC. So just remember, please stay around a little bit extra because you can get a chance to win some fabulous prizes here. Without further ado, I would love to introduce our next speakers from ATB Financial. We have, I will spotlight you, or you can even just start talking. We're so happy to have you here, Kim and Patrick.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
Please remember, if we can keep it to 5 minutes or less, that will be really helpful.
All right. I'm just
Even
going to share
4
my
minutes.
screen. Yeah, I'll speak fast. Let's make sure this works okay. Okay, I'm hoping you can see that. Perfect. So I'm Kimberly Siddle. I'm the branch manager of ATB Financial in Peace River and Grimshaw. Just to quickly go through my story, I did grow up in Newfoundland and I moved to Alberta in 2004. So I've been here for quite some time. You know, my story is lots of struggles and obstacles through life, just work and things like that. I won't get into it in too much depth. But coming out here, I was really coming to Alberta to find a career, to make money. And I went down one path through university and then I pivoted and went to another path. So my degree with university is more with science. But once I got working in the financial industry, I really loved helping people. And I really loved doing that job. And I started as a teller at a different financial institution and went into loans and business and agriculture. And then in June of 2018, I became branch manager. So that's my story. Yeah, so I'll turn it to Patrick.
Great, thanks, Kim. Can you push the next slide? Thank you.
There you go.
Awesome. So, hey everyone, I'm sorry, super happy to be here and some great stories so far. So my name is Patrick Twin. I'm from the Sarge First Nation, so just outside the town of Slave Lake. Yeah, I've been with ATB for, just coming on 6 months now. I never really saw banking as a, potential career for myself. I struggled, when I was in high school and I had to go back to school and upgrade it. And I kind of wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Ultimately, I ended up at the River Cree Resort Casino when they first opened in 2006. And, I really enjoyed that industry, right? Just, the customer service and working with people. And that's kind of when I decided to go back to school, and I did a diploma in hospitality at NAIT and finished a degree in hotel management at Royal Roads University. And then I just finished my MBA in Indigenous Business and Leadership at Simon Fraser. So I spent about a decade working in hotel management. And then, I always kind of got pulled to this, the Indigenous relations and corporate inclusion and reconciliation. And that's ultimately what pulled me back into, ATB. That, initial kind of stepping stone, I think, is, Devlin, mentioned, right? We all, kind of work our way up the ladder. And for myself, started off in the hospitality industry, stocking beer bottles, cutting lemons and limes for bartenders, and just slowly worked my way up in the industry. And then, ultimately transitioned into the Indigenous relations space. So a little bit about myself.
Okay, so why banking? And I know the first thing everybody thinks of when they think banking, they think boring, maybe. And the first position they think about is teller. But there's so much more to banking than that. So the skill set that, you know, we look for when it comes to being any career, I guess, in banking, you know, if you have a passion for people, you want to help people, you're motivated, ambitious, you know, good communication skills, you have good judgment, a strong work ethic, organization skills, time management. These are all definitely great qualities to have within any career within the banking industry and ATB. But not only that is, like I say, the first step you think about is a teller. And yeah, that's a first great step, but there's so much more. You know, we have an entrepreneur center, we have the Center for Arts and Culture, we have business, we have agriculture. You know, there's so many different career paths. We have innovation, technology, and people don't think about that unless they're actually in the organization. They start to see all of these different departments and go, oh, I didn't realize this was part of that. So there is so much more. And do you have to be really good in math in high school? No. Do you have to love numbers? Not necessarily. So I just wanted to really get that point across is you don't have to have a finance degree. You don't have to be great with math. We train, we teach, we train, we educate. And if there's a career path that you're passionate about, and you start with ATB or in any banking career, really, there's always that opportunity to learn, to grow, to develop. And that's what we do. And like I said, I started out with science degree. That was my path. And after getting into this position or getting into the banking world, I really saw what I really love to do, and I pivoted, and I've, you know, trained and learned all of this all along the way, right? That was my journey through ATB Financial. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So I won't go through this because that'll take a little while. I'll skip. But just a couple of quick facts. Did you know? So the first ATB branch was opened in 1938. Peace River branch was actually opened the year after in 39. I just thought those some good facts. And I'll give it back to Patrick.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. And so, you know, from like an Indigenous perspective, right, you know, when we look at, you know, reconciliation and corporate inclusion, ATB's done some really great things in terms of, you know, taking a proactive approach, you know, to corporate inclusion and reconciliation. And, you know, part of that is, you know, we've got a greater good strategy. And basically, you know, what we're doing there is really looking to improve the overall well-being of all Albertans. And so, you know, whenever we're looking at, you know, things like, you know, corporate giving, sponsorships and donations, we kind of have a three-pillar approach that we look to kind of evaluate, you know, opportunities that we're looking to support. So right now, you know, our focus really is on access to education, access to information and communications and technology, and then lastly, access to mental health. Obviously, with the, you know, pandemic, mental health has always been a major issue, but, you know, I think now more than ever, it's, you know, it's only becoming more of an issue. And so those are kind of the three things that we look at. And so, you know, we've supported a variety of, you know, Indigenous communities and organizations kind of through this strategy. So we've done some partnerships with Mount Royal University, with the University of Alberta First People's House, which are the Indigenous student centers at both of those locations. And just looking at, you know, how we can support, you know, Indigenous students as well. We're looking at doing some, you know, technology donations with the Assembly of First Nations here in Alberta, with the Métis Settlements General Council, and as well as with Rupert's Land, which is an affiliate of the Métis Nation of Alberta.
We have about one last minute.
Yeah, sure. I'll make this quick. So yeah, just, you know, for us, like, you know, focusing on wellness and just having fun in your job is really important, right? I mean, there's so much more to banking than just, you know, working actually in a bank. Like, I'm not a banker by trade. You know, my background, as I mentioned, is in hotel management. And so, you know, just having that foundational skills in customer service is great. And, you know, for us, we really just focus on, you know, wellness and having fun, right? Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Life is short. And as one of the other keynote speakers, I think it was Justin mentioned, right? Like, you got to do what you're passionate about and what makes you happy. So, for us, we try to have fun, whatever we're doing in our jobs. And yeah, so I'll leave it there.
Thank you so much, ATB. Let's give a big applause. So appreciative. I know this speed dating, and I know people are asking for breaks. We will take break very soon. We have right now, I'd like to introduce GPRC. I will spotlight all of you. So let me and yes, I know some people have to run. So if any speakers have to run, please feel free to put your contact information in the chat so students can still learn about you and get in touch. Okay, here we are. Hi, Christine. Hi, Loretta. Please, I will spotlight all of you, but please make sure we keep it. I know you're 4, so please, we have to make it like as succinct as we can, even though you're a big
Sounds
group.
good. Loretta, you've got the floor.
You're on mute, Loretta.
Loretta, you're on mute.
I'm Loretta Peranto English. I'm the elder in residence at Grand Prairie Regional College. I've been there since 2014, but I've been in this community since 1989. And I really can relate to Dean when he talks about nicknames. There's a couple of people on our reserve. One, his name is Two Mitts, and the other one is Skidoo. So I don't know how they got their nicknames, but that's their nicknames. And so one of the things that I really do on campus is just support the students. If they have any questions regarding Indigenous, protocols or anything, that's where I do it. I help them, and I also help the other students just understand the Indigenous ways. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize is being in this community. I found that a lot of us First Nation people have a lot of things in common. Like the Res Dogs, we do have a lot of things in common as well. Taking them in as pets, and they're the best pets ever, and they're very loyal. And things like that. We've got a lot of things in common, and I see it throughout the students when we share on a one-on-one. So those are the things that we do for myself, and I just help out with all the things that I've been taught. I share them with the students. Things that were given to me, I just pass them forward, because that's what I believe. I believe Creator has gifted us with a lot of gifts, and the things that we have, it's not for us to hoard, but for us to share. And that's where I am helping the students. So that's basically it. I just wanted to just kind of tie it up in a knot. To also just supporting staff too, and I do PowerPoints for staff teachings and things like that, also one-on-ones. So I visit classrooms too as well, just the variety of things that help to just have successful students, because I really believe there are leaders. All of you that are out there that are listening to this this conference, you're all leaders. All the presenters that went before us, they're amazing people. They followed their dreams and they've become who they are. And it's just, you can do it too. You can be what you want to be. And I really believe that. So I'll pass that on to Desiree now.
Thank you, Loretta. So my name is Desiree Marin. I'm the Indigenous Coordinator at GPRC. So one of the thing that students can expect when they come to GPRC is to have that extra support system put in place, that connection to a smaller community within the larger campus. So we do that through many different things. We have the Circle of Indigenous Students. They are a student elected board who help to just bring culture and teachings and celebrations to campus. You know, they're that Indigenous voice on campus. And this year is the first year that we've ever had a CIS member sit on the GPRC Board of Governors, which is a huge deal for us. So with the Circle of Indigenous Students, we were able to host many events, and we've had to, you know, adapt our way of connecting. So we do a lot of things online using Zoom. And if you have a chance, go to our Facebook page, GPRC On Campus Friendship Center. Ask to join the group and you could see some of the cool stuff we've been up to. Right now, while I've been in this conference, I've been putting together beading kits for students so we can have a beading club. So we've been doing that. I've been working on that. Yeah, so, you know, the Indigenous Services team is made up of, there's 3 of us. There's our on-campus Friendship Center outreach worker. She's here through the winter and fall semester. And then there's Loretta and myself. And we just do the best we can to support and reach the Indigenous student population at GPRC, and just to make sure that the voice is heard and make sure that, you know, we're going through with our plans towards reconciliation and working through the calls to action. And yeah, we're just here to support. Oh, and I'm originally from Peavine Métis Settlement of Champions, Dean, just so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, GPRC, excuse me. We have maybe 30 seconds if you want to say
Okay,
it.
perfect. 30 seconds is all I need. So we know financial barriers are a huge thing that stop people from pursuing education. And because we're talking about different careers, GPRC wants to waive your application fee if you attend one of our webinars or info sessions. You can find that right here on our website. At our recruitment page. And another thing is we are also doing a scavenger hunt. So if you apply early, you register for your classes early, and you find the 10 back to school icons, you are entered to win one of 4 scholarships, basically tuition waivers that allow you to cover a whole semester's worth of education. So those are really great opportunities that are happening for June 30th. If you need any of us at all, we're here to help you. Here's your familiar face. And Sam has been amazing in dropping all of the different links right there for you. And we host a live chat Monday to Friday. And they've also connected you to our webpage for the Circle of Indigenous Students webpage. Thank you so much. And that's all I got.
Thank you so much, GPRC. We really appreciate you all. I will remove Spotlight here. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing to hear from all these different perspectives. I'm glad we at least got the speed dating in here. We have just 2 more presenters. We're almost there, and then we're going to take a break. So without further ado, we have Jessica from Fish and Wildlife. Jessica, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Let me, I've just been trying to hide myself while I was working here. Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica, and I'm a Fish and Wildlife Officer here in Alberta. So I'm just going to give you guys the quick and dirty about what we do. And then if you're interested in our career, sort of what schooling you need to do it. So I look very much like a RCMP officer or police officer. I just happen to wear green. I have a nice green uniform, nice green vest, and I'm in charge of resource compliance within the province of Alberta. So if you're someone who likes to fish or someone who likes to hunt or trap, I'm the person that makes sure that you're following the rules, that you have your license with you. If you're out on boats or snowmobiles or skidoos, you might come in contact with me as well. We spend a lot of our time out on the landscape. Majority of our job is outdoors. Like I said, in the wintertime, we're on sleds, we're out checking ice fishermen. In the summertime, we're dealing with problem bears and problem wildlife. In the fall, we're out there checking everybody who likes to hunt and all the hunters. And then it sort of repeats itself. So if you're somebody who loves to spend their time outdoors, or if you're somebody who has a passion for hunting or fishing or something like that, this job would be perfect for you. You don't necessarily need to have a background in that kind of stuff. We get a lot of people that don't come from a hunting family or a family that fishes, but they get into this career and they sort of fall in love with it, and then they take off from there. So with this career as a Fish and Wildlife Officer, you do require post-secondary schooling. So a lot of people in the province of Alberta go to Lethbridge College. They have a 4-year program there, a degree program, and that sort of sets you right up for success into this career. I'm from Ontario originally, so I did a program at a different college. There are programs available throughout all provinces within Canada. I will leave my contact info in the chat. That way you guys can contact me if you have more questions, because this is just really the quick info about what we do, because I know we're tight on time. So I'm not sure if many of you have had a chance to get checked by a Fish and Wildlife officer. Quite often when we check people, just doing regular compliance checks, we get a lot of people say like, oh, I've never been checked before, or I've never seen one. There aren't very many of us in the province. There's less than 100 field officers in the province, and we have less than 200 like full staff within this branch, within the Fish and Wildlife Enforcement branch. So not a whole lot of us, but we're out there, we're working hard and doing the best that we can. So I'll wrap it up there. I did have lots of really cool photos for you guys, lots of photos of bears and stuff that we catch and cougars, but we don't have time for that today. But if you do email me, I will be able to give you a bit more information about what we do, and then I can always send some photos down. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Short and sweet. We really appreciate it. And sorry we couldn't see those pictures, but we would love to see them if you want to email them out, and Wendy can share. Okay, we made it to our last presentation, but don't forget there's so much goodness in the chat of amazing speakers who were willing to opt out, but did want to share their contact information. So make sure you check out the chat. But without further ado, I will introduce from Careers Next Generation, Crystal. So please, I can spotlight you once you start your video. Perfect. I pass the mic to you, Crystal.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks everyone for attending. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen here. So as she mentioned, I'm with Careers Next Generation. And what we do is we basically work to connect schools, students, employers together, helping youth find employment and apprentice opportunities to help them kind of explore what they might want to do for their future career. Today, I'm going to focus on the Indigenous Youth Career Pathway that we offer. And so, as you can see here, these are older statistics also, but we've helped a lot of youth try to find internship opportunities over the years, and we're working to further increase that every year. So we've got big goals this year to increase that, and we hope you'll be a part of that. Not sure what happened there. Sorry.
In your own words, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there, but so yeah, we basically work, we can do a number of different things for you and with you. So we work to kind of coach students, help them build their resume, help them prepare for interviews, connecting with potential employers, prepare for your first day on the job, and prepare your employer for you to join them as well. A lot have taken on students before, so that's kind of our role to help students with that. Can you see my screen if I do it this way? Or not so much? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Oh, you can? Okay. So maybe I'll just do it this way and I'll limit that. I don't know why it's not letting me. Yeah, so we offer a lot of opportunities, in the skilled trades, health sciences, services, business, agriculture, and the options are truly limitless, and you can see that on this slide here. So this is just a small list of a lot of the different programs that we can help you kind of explore, career opportunities that we can help you explore. And so the first step really is just trying to identify an area of interest for yourself. So what what you are interested in, what you might want to explore as a career opportunity. That's kind of the first step, is trying to identify something like that. And so we have a couple of tools that can help you do that. So we strongly recommend you visit the ALICE site or in Trade Secrets. They have all sorts of information about all of the trades in Alberta. And you can also try taking career and interest quiz. There's lots of them online that you can find. I can provide links to in the chat afterwards here. And basically those quizzes can help you kind of see what you might have an aptitude for, and try to guide you towards something that you enjoy as a career. And then we also have opportunities to, we have events basically where we showcase different careers. So each of these events, we bring in a few guest speakers similar to this event, or they're more themed on one topic. So welding, agriculture, cooking, things like that. We've kind of run them throughout the winter here. So we're kind of at the end of that season of the year, but we do have one coming up on sheet metal work. And then we also have a mentorship series for young women in trades as well. And that's coming up on May 18th. So you can find our calendar at the website below there. But we've had a number, like I said, we've had a number of these information sessions throughout the year. And so they're all still available. They were recorded and they're all still available on our website. So you can find them at that site there if you're interested in any of those careers. And then there's also the links to the ALICE site and Trade Secrets for each of them. So just a great resource to go to and kind of explore your options. So kind of, if you are interested in potentially pursuing an opportunity like this, you're going to want to visit your office teacher or your NMI coordinator. Sorry, I always struggle with that one. And with them, you can connect with us at Careers. So I slide out for time, but we do our website's at the bottom. I did have it screenshotted. But, and then research, like I said, go through those quizzes, watch those videos, explore a little bit on the ALICE site and the Trade Secret site, and see what field you might be interested in pursuing. And we're going to be to build your resume and cover letter. Again, we can help you work on that, and then complete both our careers application, and then a lot of the employers will have an application for you to go as well. Some good things that are good to have, and the employers certainly like, are your driver's license. Okay. You must have your SIN number, like anyone else to work in Canada, and complete the HCS 3000 course. We can talk to your school about completing that. And if you're interested, like I said, talk to your career counselor, your FNMI coordinator, visit our website, visit the ALICE website, the site, places like that. You can call or email your local program coordinator. So that would be myself. Again, my name is Chris Burrows. And yeah, I hope that was short and sweet enough for everyone. There's obviously a lot more, information to share, but I hope that was a good kind of start anyways. And if you're interested, please let me know.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. What a great way to end all these amazing presentations with resources and how to decide more about what future careers. I mean, that was excellent. Thank you so much, Careers Next Generation. So friends, first of all, give yourself a big applause. You made it. I know this was a lot of presentations and Zoom tech issues. And now give a big applause to all the wonderful people who presented and amazing keynote speakers. What an incredible event. Yay, yes. And it's not over yet. What we will like to do is we will put here in the chat, we'll give you a nice 10-minute break. People need to move, get away from the screen a little bit. We will put here in the chat a form. We'll put here in the chat a form, and it's really important. It has only 4 questions: your email, your name, what careers did you enjoy learning about today, and what do you want to see next year? If you fill out that form in the break, then you are entered into the raffle to win prizes. So you want to make sure you fill it out. So please do that in the break. And when we come back, we will start with the prizes. So it's 22. How about at 32 sharp? We are here back, but please get away from the screen. And presenters, if you need to leave, thank you so much for being with us today. It was such an honor and so informative. We'll see you back here for the prizes in 10 minutes.
Thanks, everyone.
So the form, you can